Alright, we're live. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Sorry for the darkness, but I am in the dark. It's dark out, so not much I can do about that. I guess I could bring a flashlight or something, but I just hadn't thought about it. So, as I'm sure you've seen in the title, it's my intention for this to be a confession stream. I would say I'm apprehensive to make this video, scared, kind of proud, to be honest, kind of prideful, but I mean that in a bad way. Not like, I'm so proud of this, but more like, I'm proud of this. How shameful. But, damn, it's kind of scary out here, to be honest. I'm like out in the woods. I can hear someone, or some kind of something anyways, like walking around out there in the woods. Probably not someone, probably some thing. I guess an animal's not really a thing. Some kind of animal. Scary as hell. Scary when you think about it. Well, let's just get into it. What did I want to confess? Probably some pretty shameful things. That's why I said, like, I feel like shamefully proud of it, because I feel like, why would you even admit this unless it's a sort of like, but yeah, what did I want to confess? I guess I'll just have to come out with it. I'm sure it'll be easier after I admit it. It's just my attraction to young girls, underage girls, really. That's what I wanted to confess. Basically, like teenage girls. And I read this stuff online, like about these like sick, dangerous predator men who are attracted to like 15-year-old girls. And then I just think, like, I sort of like, how should I say? I guess I kind of agree. Like, when I'm reading that, I agree, like, oh yeah, like, screw those guys. But then I also feel like a part of me is kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like a self-condemning agreement, because I feel like, okay, but if nobody was going to be mean to me, and I had every right and ability to do that without being bullied or punished, I feel like I could or would do that. So, like, I feel like I would possibly want to do that also. So then I'm like, yeah, screw those guys. They're evil. But then I'm also like, yeah, but, I mean, if I could, I would. But I can't, so, screw them. And I think, I just, like, couldn't get it out of my head that I want to confess this so badly. And I kept telling myself, like, bro, don't confess that. Why would you do that? That sounds like, kind of like self-harm when you think about it. Like, but I keep, like, sort of arguing with myself, insisting that, like, well, if it's the truth and I conceal it, that's the self-harm. And if it's the truth but I'm ashamed of it, the only way to actually transition out of that truth, if that is like an abusive and exploitative and like sick, evil truth, the only way to actually transition into like healthy truth would be to, like, you have to actually, like, acknowledge that truth and confess that truth and ask for mercy or ask for help with that truth. Like, there's no other way. And I feel like I can't really hold on to the hypocrisy of, like, this is how I understand Christianity works, and this is how I understand like grace works, and this is how I understand that like being born again works and being transformed by the Holy Spirit works. But, I'm not going to actually do it because, like, I'm not going to actually... You want me to actually confess, like, the bad things about myself? No. So, I kind of felt like, no, maybe I will do that. Maybe I should do that. Not just maybe I will, but, like, I guess in a weird sense, these confessions, at least for me and in my relationship between me and God, I feel like, this is part of my testimony of my faith in Christ. So yeah. Now, I guess depending on how, like, mean you want to get with, like, the labels and everything, I mean, what am I really saying? Like, probably the P word, right? Like PDF file, I guess is what they say these days. Yeah, I'm not sure, if that's, like, the most accurate, but, maybe it is. I just feel like there's a lot of, like evil hatred associated with that term that I'm, like, not sure I'm, like, comfortable associating myself with. But, I mean, maybe I am. So, yeah, and then, I guess there's one other thing I wanted to mention or confess to. I just feel like maybe there is a kind of prideful arrogance here where, like, look at me, I'm going to confess publicly on the street corner for everyone to see live on my internet stream that, if I keep going with these confessions, it kind of like I don't want to sabotage myself is what I'm saying, right? Like, there is the idea that, like, well, your confession should be, like, to God, or at least to, like, I don't know, like, admit the truth to yourself, admit the truth to God, maybe, like, admit the truth to the victims, if there are any victims or something like that, but, I don't know, I feel like maybe God is speaking through me right now. He's saying, like, hold up, bro, let's hold up. Yo, it's crazy that there's people here. I'm here at the church in the middle of the night in the dark. It's 11 o'clock. I'm not the only one here. There's other people here in the dark, too. Kind of crazy. So, yeah. I guess that's my confession, I guess. It's like, this literally just happened, actually. I think I just read about this on Reddit today. There's a politician, I don't know where he's from, maybe, like, Michigan or Wisconsin or something. And this is the guy who, like, I guess it's not even relevant, but he like, proposed some legislation to make Trump derangement syndrome, like, an actual mental illness. And then, like, that's the same guy, from what I read, like, that's the guy. He got caught soliciting a 16-year-old to have sex. And he's, like, 40 or 50 or however old he is. He's, like, a grown man, though, and she's, like, 16. And then I was thinking, like, is that a bad? Wait, is that, like, what do you mean? So we all hate this guy now? Like, fuck that guy, but, like, wait. So, I don't know. So then I just felt like, I don't know, is this like a confession of solidarity? Like, I gotta stand up for, I don't know, like, it's just a little complicated, I guess. I just don't like, I feel like some people are, maybe I shouldn't put this on other people, but I feel like, in general, people's willingness to, like, attack and condemn is basically, like, unleashed when they feel like, I don't know, it's, like, valid, or, like, the other person deserves it, right? And it's like, oh, you're 40, and you, like, 16-year-olds, like, okay, it's open season, like, you know what I mean? But, so I guess I just feel like that's wrong, in a way, or, or maybe like, how should I say this to the actual way to like, I'm not even sure, like treat that behavior or defeat, more like maybe like defeat that behavior would be a kind of like compassionate tolerance and like patient acceptance compared to like, okay, good, like let's go kill that guy. Right? Like I don't know, I feel like there's a hypocrisy there, I guess. Like what is the like the relationship, like this big like age gap relationship is kind of like, you know, what's like the problem there? It's that there's like this power differential and there's like exploitation and abuse and taking advantage of like someone's relative naivete. I guess I just feel like, so the hypocrisy is kind of like, well, isn't that what you're doing to them, right? Because if they are this like this evil person with this like unnatural attraction, I guess the question is like, so is that just like a sick person, or like a sick person who should be treated, or like an evil person who should be punished, or like both, I guess, or neither? But I don't know. I think if you're with me, you already were with me, and if you're not with me, then no matter what I say, you never would be with me. So I guess trying to explain it is maybe kind of a pointless episode anyways, but I guess I wanted to share my thoughts more, like, in a certain way, I kind of admire people who are more upfront about their feelings, at least in the sense that, like, well, this is how they feel. They're attracted to, like, 14-year-old children. But there's always, like, so much nuance there, right? And, but I guess, like, the thing I admire is, like, okay, but I'll tell you that, like, when the sun is out in the broad daylight, and I'll just admit to it. Whereas, like, I guess that's the part that I admire. So I just kind of wanted to be like that, in a sense. I guess you could say, like, well, maybe I share some feelings with these other, with some other people, right? But the difference is that, like, they got caught, and I didn't. And now I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like, either way, I felt like I wanted to say something. I guess, in a sense, I'm kind of, like, putting God to the test, too. Because, you know, like, if you have this self-awareness, or how should I say, like, a self-acceptance that this is a truth, is the truth, but also a self-awareness that this is, like, shameful and not good, and you're, like, guilty of something bad. I feel like from where I'm coming from, I mean, I guess it's like what I said before, maybe I'm repeating myself, but it's like to actually do anything there, anything positive for yourself, you have to, like, acknowledge that, or at least I want to anyways. So hopefully, nobody wants to kill me. Nobody wants to, like, dox me or be mean to me. And I think I'll be okay. Yeah, I think I'll be okay. To be honest, I think that I honestly kind of, maybe it's not right for me to speculate on this, but I kind of have a feeling that, like, if more men, maybe just men in general, if more men were truly honest with themselves, it wouldn't be like a minority of criminals getting caught and, like, weirdos like me who just decide to, like, make confessions even though I haven't been caught. But if, like, more of us would kind of, like, just admit the truth, like, so what exactly is, like, so if you're attracted to a woman who's younger than 18, you're, like, evil? And I just feel like, but that's, like, a lot of people, right? Like, so yeah, I don't know, it's just what I'm thinking. And maybe that's really not the claim. No one's saying, like, well, you can't be attracted to. It's more just like you can't pursue your attraction to have a relationship or something like that. But again, that kind of makes me feel like, so the law is like not aligned with like the judicial law is misaligned with like the natural law. And so you're basically forcing everybody to commit acts of like interior self-repression, which are acts of like spiritual violence against like themselves and God and like your whole society. And like anytime that you have that, that is like a self-destructive behavior on like your whole, like everything. Like that's like a civil war against yourself. Like you're gonna collapse if you do that. And that's what I'm thinking anyways. Yeah. I guess I just feel like the judicial law should be aligned with the natural spiritual law. And when it's not, you just create like an atmosphere of like fear and repression. And what does that lead to, right? It leads to people like hiding the truth in the darkness, or like taking their true feelings and like putting them in a cage and locking it away, or holding on to like being self-ashamed. And you just, in general, you cannot have a healthy society if like, you know, half of your society is men and most of the men feel that way. Like, so now most of the men are like spiritually compromised and unhealthy. But like I said, a lot of this could just be projection. What do I know? Maybe I really am in the minority. Holy heck, what is that? There's like a deer out there or something. I think it's something big. Maybe it's a dog. Anyways, I've rambled enough about this. I guess that's the end of my video. Oh, hey, there's someone actually in the chat. I confess I'm in love with a Canadian. Hey, that's cool. That's cool, man. Do your thing. I hope they're real nice. Anyways, I'm going to end the stream, I think. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch ya.